Some may get this and some may not, but look up the wrestler Shinsuke Nakamura and tell me that this nigga does not look like his long-lost black cousin. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today, and we're talking about the brand new album that just fucking dropped from a nigga from Detroit who's been making all kinds of noise for many years. This nigga's back. He dropped his new shit. He looked like fucking Nakamura, but it's all good. We talking about the new album from Danny Brown entitled Atrocity Exhibition. Now, for those who don't know, like I said, Danny Brown is a rapper from Detroit, and he's been doing big things for many years. He came onto the scene around 2010 with his debut album, The Hybrid, but it wasn't until his follow-up album, the album Triple X, that really just catapulted him to the main spotlight status that he's at right now. And then he followed up a few years later with his album Old, which I did also kind of enjoy. Danny Brown's hit and miss with me, y'all, but I do always tend to find something that I enjoy with his projects. Now he's back again with his fourth official album, Atrocity Exhibition. So now let's see if this nigga Danny Brown has gave us a hot album, or if this shit is fucking atrocious and he needs to go sit his ass down somewhere and just go fucking get in NXT and tag team with Nakamura or some shit. I don't fucking know. Let's talk about the shit. So when I first popped this album and tuned into the production on here, I quickly realized that just like this fucking album cover, this album is fucking crazy and fucking all over the goddamn place and literally fucking chaotic. The production on here is just so, I can't even explain it. It's not even like, I can't even consider it like hip hop really. I mean, you can hear the hip hop in there, but it's just surrounded by a whole bunch of chaotic shit. It's like a lot of genre bending and blending going on with this production. I mean, you get things from like psych rock to these weird, just fucking crazy, just like dark, really just off the wall sounds, and just this like, I can't even explain this shit. It's a challenging listen to go through when it comes to the production on this album. And there are some things on here that you really have to just sit and just process, because it's just, you wouldn't even expect people to be able to rap over these fucking beats. And the thing about these beats is that they really do fit Danny Brown's chaotic, off the wall, just high pitched, just wild fucking style, but it's just still something new that he hasn't done yet, or at least something that we haven't seen in his previous album. So it's really just something that will really take people to a new place with Danny Brown, and it shows that Danny Brown is in a new place himself. And when it comes to the actual producers on this album, Danny Brown didn't get too many people. Actually, the majority of this album is done by one motherfucker, but he did get some other people on here. But let me run it down. Let me tell you who all he got up on here. I got this shit. Shut the fuck up. Here we go. We got Paul White, Petite Noir, Black Milk, all right, DJ Player Hayes, The Alchemist, and Evian Christ. Okay, so that's all the producers, and most of the album is produced by Paul White, who brings some of the more eclectic, out there, just off the wall type of production, and brings just a new version of the alternative hip hop genre. I mean, this is technically alternative hip hop, but it's even like on another fucking like level or plane of alternative hip hop. Like, I've listened to a lot of alternative hip hop albums, and I'm a fan of the genre, but this is something that I've never really just experienced on a sonic music tip as far as when it comes to a hip hop album. So I really was challenged listening to this, but I did find myself overall enjoying the production on here based off of how different it was. But I did see what the direction and kind of what Danny Brown was really trying to go for as far as what this album was supposed to represent. So the production on here is fucking crazy, y'all. Like, literally, it's legit fucking crazy. Most people, if you listen to like traditional hip hop, if you were a fan of Danny Brown's last album, you're gonna be probably put off by the production here because it's just out there. It's not no Detroit hip hop sound. It ain't no fucking like traditional sound. It's some shit you gotta really just sit with and process and break down. And if you don't like rock or genre bending or just different types of weird sounds being just thrown out of nowhere at you, then you may be put off by these beats. But if you do have an open mind and open ears to really just break down what's going on and kind of just see how Danny fits on this shit, then you can kind of see that it really is some really dope shit that's going on right on this goddamn album on the production tip. Now let's talk about Danny Brown himself and see what the fuck this nigga done did on this crazy ass production that he got. I don't know how the fuck he decided, who was in beat selection with this nigga. Like, that shit sounds great, nigga. Let's talk about this nigga. Now, when it comes to Danny Brown himself, I've always respected his pen game. I think he's a very good lyricist, and I think he just did a good job of separating himself just from being just a lyricist by doing his crazy voice and just kind of having these weird different flows. But at the core of it, this dude is an MC, and he's got fucking skills. Now, when it comes to this album, Danny is going a little bit off the fucking tracks on a lot of things here. He's playing with a lot of different flows. He's really just going really chaotic. He's matching the intensity of these beats. He's really just I mean, he's just going to another level and another plane that most people probably won't be able to gravitate towards off top because it's so different. But if you're a Danny Brown fan, you're gonna love this shit. And when it comes to the actual subject matter and theme of this album, we quickly realized that y'all, Danny Brown ain't doing too goddamn good in his personal life, y'all. This nigga's fucked up. He is addicted to all kinds of drugs, like every shit that's out there I think this nigga's addicted to. He drink all the goddamn time. This nigga's got mental issues. I probably got depression and shit. I don't know what the fuck. There's some shit going on down in that cranium of Danny Brown. The nigga's fucking everything raw, most likely. I don't fuck... Danny needs some help, y'all. We need to get these niggas from intervention over here and get that nigga help, because shit ain't going well. He might not make it. I'm worried about Danny Brown listening to this album, god damn it. But shit, nigga, he's spitting though. The nigga is rapping his ass off, and he's doing some very unique and just off the wall shit that for the most part I understand and get. Now I'm not on board with everything he's doing, but I do like a lot of things that he's doing on this album. And at first, y'all, I couldn't really know how to process this album. The first time I listened to this shit, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this shit. It's like so off the wall and crazy and chaotic and just so much shit, and I felt so bad for Danny Brown listening to the songs. As I progressively got through this album, I was like, yo, this nigga Danny really is fucked up. He needs some fucking help. Like, should I be sitting here listening to this shit or should I call somebody? I didn't fucking know. I was sitting there contemplating shit. And Danny does a good job on this album, really just explaining and depicting these lyrics that he's just fucking telling us all this crazy shit. I mean, you can literally visualize everything he's talking about because he explains it in so much detail and so fucking well. And he even tries to take it to a humorous twist at times, which could be a little dark humor in a way, but it does sort of come off humorous at times. But then he also tries to be like the PSA, public service announcement, and be like, yo, I'm doing all this crazy fucked up shit and telling y'all because it's not fun, and I wish I could fucking stop, but I fucking can't, so just don't do this shit so you don't end up like me. Look at me, I look like fucking Nakamura on fucking drugs, which really he is Nakamura on fucking drugs. Is Nakamura on drugs? I gotta look that, probably not, he would get fucking fired. And as far as the features on this album, Danny didn't get too many motherfuckers on here, but the people he did get on here were some heavy motherfucking hitters. Hold on, I got it right here. So he got, he got Petite Noir, okay, Kendrick Lamar, gotta have Kendrick, Absol, Solo, all right, Earl Sweatshirt, all right, he's still not going outside, I'm barely not, maybe, fuck it, he probably is now, Kalela? Layla? I fucked up your name, didn't I? Yeah, I probably did. And Be Real. All right, so like I said, he's not got that many features on here, and the people who got on here like are pretty much people who you would kind of picture Danny Brown working with, and they all for the most part come in with a very solid guest verse or feature, and they really fit the mode and the tone of the album on the songs that they're on. So I didn't really have any problems with any of the features on this entire album. It was a really good selection from Danny Brown, getting these people on here to kind of just help him with this just crazy, atrocious, wild, I don't even know how to explain this shit. It's a mess of fucking shit that still sounds good. What the fuck? Now, you know I gotta give you my top 5 tracks, and this was a little difficult, y'all, because I found myself bouncing back and forth between certain songs. I started off not liking a song and then ended up loving it and vice versa. But I got my 5 here, y'all. Hold on, I got it right here. Shit, here we go. So the first song is Downward Spiral, and then we got Tell Me What I Don't Know, and then Really Though, and then Lost, and then Get High. Okay, so we're gonna go back up to the top. So Downward Spiral is actually the opening track, and this pretty much sets the tone for how chaotic and crazy and out there this fucking album is gonna be. Like, it's produced by Paul White, and it's just got this weird, it doesn't even sound like a fucking like hip-hop instrumental or a hip-hop intro at all. It sounds like a punk rock or some psychedelic 70s shit when you just fucking on all kinds of drugs and shrooms. I don't know, I don't do that shit, but it sounds like that's the shit you would be listening to when you're on that shit. And it's pretty much Danny talking about how his life is just in a downward spiral. I mean, this nigga, he don't have a phone unless he got a call to get drugs, and he's on everything. He drinks Hennessy to his chest burns. He's smoking all the time. He's smashing prostitutes raw, and he can't even get it up, but he's still trying because he paid the money. He said, fuck it, nigga, I'm getting my money's worth somehow, some way. And he's just letting you know that shit's fucking just terrible for Danny Brown personally. Like, yeah, on the outside, yeah, he's a famous rapper. He's probably got a lot of fucking money, but like when it comes to him being by himself and to himself, he's just like fucking drowning himself in all these things that just want to take all this pain he's got inside away. And it's a song that really just makes you say, God damn, Danny, your shit is fucked up. But in that, you still kind of see the brilliance of this song in a way, because it's so just fucking out there and crazy. And the fact that Danny Brown can rap the way he's rapping over this beat that's really not even a fucking beat at all. It's like, I don't know how this nigga did this shit so well, but it just fucking worked, and it does set off the tone of what this album's gonna be, and that's just the start of the shit. It gets fucking crazier as it fucking goes. But I do enjoy this song. At first, I really didn't even know how to feel about this song, but it did grow on me after a few listens when I really saw just what was going on with this track, and then the lyrics and everything like that really worked for me. So it's a dope track, a dope opening song. It may not be for everybody, but it worked for me, goddammit, eventually. So definitely check out this shit. I mean, you got to. When you press play, it's the first shit that plays, goddammit. You know what the fuck I'm saying, though. The next song, Tell Me What I Don't Know, is actually the next song after Downward Spiral, and this is where Danny's rapping regular. He's not doing the high-pitched, screechy, nasally voice. He sounds like a regular nigga, and I actually like it better when Danny Brown raps that way. Like, at first I was like, who this nigga is? And then I realized it was still Danny Brown, because, you know, you don't hear it that much when he raps that way, but he just really has this really just low-key, just like down, like real grimacing type voice when it comes to this track, because the beat here is just very, very just like ominous and menacing itself. It's also produced by Paul White, and he just really just uses these weird sounds. I can't even explain what these fucking sounds are. Like, it's just so much craziness going to it. Just listen to the shit. It's like, but it is like a dark, just grimacing, gritty beat that really fits the tone. And he's pretty much talking about, you know, it's one of them just hood tracks, but it's a Danny Brown version of a hood track where he pretty much just explains things that happen in the hood. You know, like, he already knows what fucking goes with, like, tell me what I don't know, because he's telling you what he does know, but then he's saying, telling me what I don't know. But apparently you know everything, Danny, that goes on in the fucking hood of Detroit, because I'm pretty much that's what he's talking about. But it's a dope fucking song. It's a good, just like, change of pace with him rapping differently, but it still keeps with the crazy production that we're gonna get on this album. And it just like, I like how it just flowed into that from Downward Spiral. So it's a really dope track. Check that shit out. It's another hot one. The next song is really dope, and this is probably my favorite song of the entire album, because it's the posse cut of the track, and it is also the track that sounds more like hip-hop than anything else on this goddamn project. It's got Kendrick Lamar on here, Ab-Soul, Earl Sweatshirt, and they all come through with some crazy fucking verses. But I gotta say, Earl took the cake on here. Everybody had dope verses, but Earl just came in with this unexpected energy and just this like flow, and he was like, you know, ask your girl why her mouth's on my nuts. I'm like, I'm not doing that, Earl. Like, it shouldn't be that way. You got Black Milk on the beat, and he comes in with just a straight up banker, hard-hitting drums, and some nice little xylophone, like glockenspiel type sounds up on there, but it works very fucking well. And it's just a perfect backdrop for these lyricists to come in and just spit some crazy fucking verses, and it worked out very well. So it's definitely a standout. Like I said, my favorite song on the album, and it's just one of them joints that you just gonna appreciate on a lyrical standpoint, but just as a straight up hip hop banger standpoint. So definitely check that shit out. It's a hot one. The next song is Lost, and this is pretty much like Downward Spiral 2, where he pretty much just told him he's like lost. Like, he's lost in the sauce, he's lost in everything. Like, he's pretty much just out there, and like, he probably ain't gonna be able to come back because he's just so far out and so lost in all this shit that he's just putting into himself, and he's trying to just fucking escape from all these things. And it's just a really dope track that really just kind of just further explains like Danny's substance abuse and things that he goes through on a daily basis. But the real standout of this track is the beat itself. It's just got this very weird, just it's like it gives me like this like ODB sort of feel, like ODB were rapping this type of beat, because it's just got this weird just like sample to it. I don't know where it came from, but then it's got this real subtle drum pattern with it too, so it's not really too much to the beat, but it kind of just works well for what Danny does with it. I think it's produced by DJ Player Hayes. Yeah, Player Hayes did that one, and it's just a really just like out there track. And this is a track that when I first heard it, it just caught me immediately based off the beat, but just with Danny's just chaotic flow and style, it kind of was just like a perfect marriage. And like I said, I enjoyed Downward Spiral, so this was like another Downward Spiral just in a different tone, and I actually just enjoyed it the same as I enjoyed the first track. So definitely check that shit out. It's a dope one, and that nigga Danny still needs fucking help, and I don't know why nobody has called anybody yet. Somebody get on the fucking phone, for real. And the last song in my top 5 is Get High, and this features Be Real, and this is pretty much what it's talking about, getting high. It's talking about Danny's love for getting high, smoking that weed. I mean, you got Be Real, who always be smoking fucking weed, as Dr. Green Thumb himself, and he comes in with a very just low-key and subtle hook, and the whole track is fucking low-key and subtle. It sounds like if you smoked and then you went into the studio and did a fucking song, it was everything just like the beat was high, Danny was high, Be Real was high, the engineer was probably high. Pretty much everything in a 10-foot radius was fucking high at that point, but it is a dope track, no pun intended, but it is a dope track, and I really appreciate just how low-key and subtle it is compared to the other tracks on the fucking album. It's kind of like that chill out moment, like, you know, a lot of crazy shit's been going on, so now smoke one out to cool down, because like shit's been wild for the last fucking tracks. But it is a dope standout track, and I do think that it's something that you should check out. You can probably go ahead and smoke one while you're listening to it. It will most likely enhance the experience of this song. But overall, I think that this album itself is just an experience in itself that's really just unique and out there, and something that we wouldn't or didn't expect from Danny Brown, especially coming from old. But it's something that shows that Danny Brown's trying a new direction. He's trying to just expand a lot of things. He doesn't want to box himself in as just one type of rapper, and whether that be a party rapper or just like a lyrical rapper. He's really just trying all these different things to really just make Danny Brown just an artist himself. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Danny Brown Atrocity Exhibition is a very unique, very daring, very chaotic and out there album that shows that Danny Brown will not be boxed in, but it does have some flaws here and there for me. All I'm saying is that Danny Brown's fucking crazy and needs fucking help, but in that craziness and help he needs, he constructed a very, very well thought out and just chaotic album at the same time. The production's fucking crazy. Paul White did a good job making some weird shit that nobody ever thought anybody could ever fucking rap on. Danny Brown comes in here with a whole bunch of crazy flows, and he just hits a lot of subject matter that's personal to him, and then we realize just how fucked up Danny is. And I hope this nigga really does get some fucking help, because I don't want this nigga to end up dead, because, like, you know, he's pretty much just saying, yo, it might fucking happen, but he gonna give it to God. He's saying God got him. I hope God got him, because if not, somebody need to get this ass, because shit's getting real with Danny Brown. But overall, the album, I do appreciate what it was done for and how it was executed. And even though some songs here I can't fuck with, I do overall appreciate the shit, like I said. So all I gotta say is that for me, Danny Brown, Atrocity Exhibition is not Granddad approved, but I will give it a very highly Granddad recommended. And that's because, like I said, I appreciate what Danny was doing. I like the flows on here. I like his rapping, the subject matter, even though it's a bit tragic at times, he does come through and just paints that perfect picture. Production on here is really good and very unique, and for an alternative hip-hop album, this really just goes to another place that I've never heard before, which is really fucking dope. And I think it's an album that over time people will start to appreciate more and really just see what Danny was trying to do. And Danny Brown fans, I think they're gonna like this. Some may not like it if you're like, you know, really a traditional hip-hop person. It's gonna be a challenging listen to you, but if you really do sit with it and just really just see what Danny was doing, you will see that this album really does have a lot of gems in it and a lot of cool things about it that just really sets it apart from the rest of the albums that have dropped this year. But I got nothing more to say. Danny Brown, Atrocity Exhibition, is very highly Granddad recommended, so check out the shit before this nigga ODs or something. Don't, Danny, get some help, nigga, for real. Like, come on now. I don't want to hear next album that you doubled up on everything, nigga. Just go rehab, go intervention, do something, bro. Just figure it out. Flip it. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Danny Brown Atrocity Exhibition if you've heard it. If you haven't heard it, like I said, it's a very, very unique album. A lot of things about this shit may put some people off, but if you really sit with it and see what Danny was doing, you will see that this is a lot of just really dope, unique, and a lot of gems in this motherfucker that you really should just break down and listen to. But overall, it's a really good album. Didn't really fit for me for all points, but I mean, I can appreciate what he was fucking doing. Previous videos on the sides was my latest single. Check that out, show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, links in the description below, and subscribe. Button on the screen, button below, Woolly Reviews, twice a week, as well as CDK Studies. Check that shit out, and the gaming channel. And if you're indie anything in which you shit spotlighted, info below, and I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddaughter, Danny Brown, Atrocity Exhibition. Shit is fucking crazy on all fucking levels, and nigga, Danny, just cool it out. Go hit up Nakamura, see if he needs a tag team partner. Get yourself together, bro. They got a wellness policy over there that will not be fucking deterred, so you'll be good if you, that's all you need, nigga, for real. I'm out of here.